Hey everyone, it's technology expert Burton Kelso here with another tech tip to help you get the most out of the technology in your life. Today we're going to ask the question, how well do you protect your smartphone information? A lot of us keep critical information on our smartphones and we fail to think about the consequences if we were to lose that smartphone. So what are you doing to protect your smartphone? If nothing is the answer, well, I've got that answer for you. Well, we're going to we're going to switch screens here like we always do and take a look at some of the steps that you could be doing in order to keep your smartphone safe because it's very important. Just imagine if that smartphone fell into the wrong hands. We're going to switch screens like we always do. And so the question is how well do you protect your smartphone? Well, using my knowledge in this infographic from Consumer Reports, we're going to take a look and see what you're doing to keep that information safe. So, roughly half of you, or over half of you, own a smartphone. So, as you can see, not counting data theft, 7.1 million smartphones were damaged or lost or stolen and never recovered last year. A lot of us think about the consequences if some hacker gets into our smartphone, but many of us fail to realize the dangers that could happen if our smartphones were damaged, dropped in a toilet, or just plain stolen, which, believe it or not, still happens. So what should you do? Well, consider the consequences. The things that we keep on our smartphone are very personal. You keep photos, passwords, your current location on your smartphone, even financial information. And a lot of us are starting to use home sharing apps to keep up with the family. So if a thief got your smartphone, then they could have some very personal information about you. And then some of us keep our passwords to very important accounts, whether they be offline or online. And if we lost that smartphone, we'd be in pretty bad shape. So what do you need to do? Well, first, you need to back up your data. You got to back up your data on a regular basis on your smartphone. And that is one of the hardest things that a lot of people have to deal with. And I keep moving the graphics, so let's get back to back up your data. So backing up your data is a very simple task on your smartphone. There's many different ways that you could back up your data. Number one, you could use iCloud backup on your smartphone, meaning your iOS device. Apple gives you about 5 gigabytes worth of data to back up to the cloud, their cloud, which is called iCloud. Once you reach that 5 gigabyte quota, which many of you do, then you have to switch or purchase iCloud backup, which is 99 cents a month. And if you're backing up all of those important apps and information on your smartphone, then it's a really smart thing to do. Android users, you can use Google Drive to back up your information. Pretty simple. Your Google phone is already connected to a Google account, so you can back up your information and apps to the Google Drive. One other thing that both iPhone and Android users can benefit from is that you could use Google Photos to back up your photos on your smart device. If you use your smartphone as a camera, then Google Photos is the app for you, allowing you to back up your data, unlimited data, to the Google Drive, and you will allow yourself to keep your information safe. You lose your phone, no big deal. All that information is stored on the Google Drive in the cloud. But if you do backup, if your phone becomes damaged or lost, all your information is stored in the cloud, and you don't have to worry about that information. Next on our list is you've got to use passwords. You've got to lock that screen. So if your phone is locked or if someone just happens to decide to snoop on your phone, you can prevent that from happening on your smartphone. Now, Apple users have the option to use a 4-pin or a 6-pin digit on their phone. Same with Android users. But you could use a unlock pattern on your smartphone, which is a little bit more secure thing to use, and that's only available to Android users. Apple users and Android users can also use the thumbprint feature to lock your phone. So the best thing about locking your phone is that both Android and iPhones offer it data encryption. So if you lose your phone and someone tries to hack into it, it's a lot harder to do it with the data encryption in place as opposed to just having your phone readily available by just clicking on the home unlock screen. Next is you can protect with apps. Let's make sure that's right. Yes, protect with apps. Oops. And let's go back into our PowerPoint because obviously I messed that up. So let's scroll down, use passwords, and finally into the presentation. We'll just go to the left screen. All right, protect with apps. So Android users need to use antivirus software because the Android is like the wild, wild west. Apple iPhone users is not as necessary to use apps for virus protection, so don't worry about that. Phone locator is great. Lose your phone, you can use Google or Find My Phone from Apple to locate your phone. And finally, if you just can't locate your phone, both Apple and Android devices have the ability to wipe the phone if it winds up in the wrong hands. The good thing, one of the things that you want to do before you protect with apps is that you want to make sure that all your data is backed up, as we stated with our first tech tip. Back up your data. Now moving on with protect your apps, keep in mind 39% of you out there are not using any of these protective measures. So let's get that number down. So scrolling back through the presentation, let's go back to our 3 things that you want to do. You want to back up your data. You want to use passwords on your smartphone. And finally, you want to protect it with apps. And so these are some very basic things that you want to do with your smartphone. Obviously, there's more robust things that you can do to keep it safe from cyber criminals. But today, I just wanted to focus on smartphone one-on-one, making sure that you're doing the general things to protect your smartphone from yourself, and just making sure that if it's stolen or if your smartphone is damaged, that you have the protection that you need in order to keep your data safe. If you have comments or questions about this tech tip, leave them in the comments section below. Would love to hear from you to find out what tech tips that you would like to see in future videos. And speaking of videos, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can subscribe to Integral, as you can see down in the lower right-hand corner, my company, or you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is Burton Kelso. There's tons of videos there that will allow you to get more from the technology that you use in your day-to-day life, in your business life. And finally, follow us on social media. We're on all the social media channels, so be sure to check us out to make sure that you are getting the tips that you need in order to get the most out of the technology you use day to day. And as always, folks, take care of yourself and do many things to make you smile. And thanks for watching.